Yeah, I was excited about Mulan. I saw the trailer. It looked epic. It looked like it was going to be different from the animated film, so not a complete remake, but still a remake. But in the end, after seeing it, it was not as swift as the coursing river, and it did not have the strength of a raging fire.
Nerd reactor, roll out.
So yeah, Disney has been tapping into a lot of its animated classics and turning it into live action remakes. And we've had movies like The Lion King, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast. They're not going to slow down with this because these movies are making them a lot of money. And those movies that I've mentioned each have grossed over $1 billion. So why would they stop? They're going to keep making this. They're going to keep milking this because the next one we're going to have The Little Mermaid. So now Mulan, that's the one we're having this month. It's going to be available on Disney Plus for a fee, and people were upset by it. But then Disney revealed, later in December, it's going to be available to all Disney Plus subscribers. So that's a good thing. After watching this movie, I don't really care. It's okay. Let's pretend like the Mulan animated film wasn't in existence. The movie still fails because it's got pacing issues. It has no proper build-up of characters, so you're not invested in the characters. You don't care about anything that's happening, and some of the acting could be better. And let's say if we were to compare it to the animated classic, this movie is missing a lot of heart. Like in the cartoon, there's a lot of heart. There's a lot of charm, a lot of comedy, and this one fails at just giving us anything to feel for these characters, where it's kind of a big deal back then to have a woman join the army to become a soldier. And so with this one we have Yi Fei Lu. She has big shoes to fill to play Mulan. And sadly, she does not quite reach that level to portray a character like a legendary hero. So with Lu as Mulan, she's not as endearing or as charming as Ming-Na's version, and she feels pretty one note. Like it feels like she's just got one face. And what's funny is that in the movie they actually make fun of how she has just one face. Like there's gonna be different demographics. Certain people are just gonna watch it and they're like, okay, it feels the quota of like, okay, I like my kick-ass hero doing kick-ass things. But for me, I don't feel like she did kick ass, because when you watch other actors like Donnie Yen, you watch them perform. It's like, okay, that guy kicks ass. He's a martial artist, and he looks legit on the screen. The supporting cast feels wasted. Like there's like the trio, the comedy trio that was in the cartoon, and then they kind of have that here. They never really have their moment that really captures you, and I think it's just because of the script. And these actors didn't have enough to work with from what they have. The main issue I have with Mulan is the build-up for the character motivations. Like Mulan, she's fighting in the army to fight against the northern invaders. And it's a big leap. It's a big leap for a woman to join the army. Like, this is a huge thing. Like, she as a woman, you can't join the army. So she has to pretend to be a dude to join the army. And that moment where she's doing that, there's no epicness, there's no dramatic scenes involving that. She just does it. Like, there's parts where, my dad, he's kind of weak. I don't want him to join the army. I'll take over because I'm younger and I'm capable and I want to take care of my dad. And here, it's still there, but you don't feel it. You don't feel that emotional impact, that connection, like you do in the animated film. Like, there's a moment where dad is talking to Mulan, and you feel that, he cares about her. Here, there's none of that. Like, you never really felt the connection between the father and the daughter. The moment where, she decides to join, there is no transformation scene that you're like, this is cool. She just dresses up and then she just goes. I'm like, that's it? There's no build up to this. There's like no build up. The movie has a lot of pacing issues. And I could mention a lot of things, but one scene, I'm trying to be vague about this. There's like a fight scene, a battle sequence where she's charging against the enemy. They're building that up, and all of a sudden she's somewhere else. She's already there, behind enemy line, and you're looking, what just happened? It's like the editor wasn't there. Like the editor fell asleep on the job. It was just a weird scene. Like when you watch that moment, you'd be like, this is terrible. Mushu's a fan favorite character. He's not in this movie. I was okay with that because the filmmakers are trying to make it more like the folktale. This one, you're using a phoenix. Whatever, it's fine. The problem is, the phoenix is pointless. There is no point whatsoever with them adding the phoenix if it's just going to be useless. And you might as well just add no phoenix, or maybe just add a little dragon here somewhere, like a little Easter egg. The purpose of this phoenix is just to be a visual metaphor for Mulan's determination of just fighting the good fight. That's all it is. And so I just want to say this just so that when you're watching the movie, you'll be like, wow, that's it. That's all it is. And I do want to talk about how like the movie is lacking in that scope or epicness. Like you have these battles. You have Mulan fighting, and you have the army fighting another army, but it never feels grand. It never feels like big in scope. Like the animated film, you watch it, it's like, this is big. But here, it's very lacking. But, the film is PG-13, so there are shots where you see people getting killed, and bow and arrows, archery, and all that, arrows going to the body. So I was like, wow, this is the most hardcore live-action remake for a Disney film. It also has some like blurry nudity, like Mulan taking a shower. Like if you've seen the cartoon, she showers, and then the guys are like showering or taking a bath with her in the lake area. But here, it's not done to comedic effect, so it kind of feels like kind of invasive. So it's like, ooh, this is I don't like this scene. But then it's kind of hard to pull off because this is like a live action moment compared to an animated one where you could just make it funny and make it cartoony, and it'll be fine. Jet Li and Donnie Yen, like when they're fighting, Donnie Yen when he fights, it's great. Like just watch the movie to watch Donnie Yen fight. Jet Li also has his time to shine too. And Jet Li, like I haven't seen his recent stuff yet, but I'm not sure if it's his voice, but it sounds like his voice is dubbed by another actor. It's deeper, and I don't really hear that Jet Li accent, that Jet Li voice. It sounds like someone else. And whenever he talks, it just feels weird. Like, why? What happened? It's so deep, so different. So it kind of takes me out of it just because I've seen his other previous stuff, and maybe he changed his voice. I don't know, but it's just something noticeable. Chi is a thing here, and Star Wars, the Force, is inspired by Chi, and so it looks like Mulan, the filmmakers, is trying to make the Chi the Force, and making it like midichlorians, where Anakin is so good because he has a high amount of midichlorians. And here, Mulan is so good because she has a high amount of chi. And I'm like, chi should just be using it, training it, and becoming a better person because it's all around us. And now it's just, with Mulan, she has a high amount, so she can just pull off all these amazing feats just because, instead of dedication and a lot of hard work. She does still train. Don't get me wrong. She trains a lot. But then there's that notion where she is just the top person because of her chi powers. But yeah, overall, Mulan suffered from pacing issues, and not once did I ever feel invested in the characters. The film features battles with these Chinese armies and the northern invaders, but they never really felt epic. And the highlights were definitely, Donnie Yen kicking ass, and the music nod, where you do hear some of the music from Mulan. Like I'm just surprised by just the violence in this for a live action remake, a Disney live action remake. It's PG-13, So I was like, okay, Disney is stepping it up because they're doing things where I'm shocked that they were able to pull off in this movie. Where I'm like, wow, is this a Disney movie? But yeah, other than that, Mulan does not get down to business, and that makes me really sad. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are on Mulan on the comments below. With that said, I'm John, and I'll see you guys next time.